This one is very important. If you're on a cruise ship, you're in another country somewhere, and you miss the ship. So let's say the ship goes to, for example, Cozumel, right? You get off the ship and they tell you, well, you got 6 hours in Cozumel. Be back at the ship at 5 o'clock. You come back to the ship at 5:10. The ship's sailing. They're not gonna hold that ship for you. They're not gonna hold the ship for you. Here's where it gets tricky. Hopefully you got your passport with you, because if you don't, you're gonna have a hell of a time trying to travel to another country or travel to a country ahead to meet the ship. Because a lot of these countries require passport. They require passport to get on airlines, and so your best bet is going to try to work with is to try to work with the embassy. When I get off of these cruise ports, I always take my passport. As a minimum, I always take a copy of my passport. Even though a copy of the passport is not the real thing, it goes a long way in trying to verify who you are. The embassy folks they'll work with you, but man, if you miss your cruise ship, that's going to cost you a lot of money, because you're going to have to figure out where the airline is first to get to the next destination. You might have to travel 2 hours to get to an airport, and then wherever the next cruise port is where the ship is going, let's say the airport flies you in there, but that airport may be 3 hours away from the cruise port, so you still got to travel another 3 hours. So you're going to have to buy taxi fees to get to these airports. You're going to have to you're going to have to pay for airline fees, and you're going to have to pay for just food that you've already paid for on the cruise ship, you know what I'm saying? Drinks, because you're going to have to eat in the middle of all this stuff. And so you can find yourself in a conundrum. The golden rule of thumb for us is to always be back at the cruise ship, no matter what. 1 hour before the time they say they're going to depart, no matter what, 1 hour before. And if we're cutting it close or something with a excursion or a trip or something, we just don't do it. Stay on the ship. But be mindful if you run into that, because that can cause you a lot of headache, man, being left. And so I've seen it, and it's not a fun thing. I've seen parents who have left their children on cruise ships, who have gotten off the cruise ship, saw it for myself. They got their ass drunk as hell, and they missed the cruise ship. And now their children are on the cruise ship by themselves. So they got to call the cruise lines and have someone go down there and check on the kids, make sure they're okay, while the damn parents try to make their way back to the cruise ship. Just don't find yourself in this situation, and you save yourself a lot of headache. But there are ways around it. I mean, you're just going to have to, depending on where you are, you're going to have to make your way toward that cruise ship, or back to home port. It's up to you, depending on how much hassle you want to deal with. But don't get caught in a situation where you miss the cruise ships.